Hello, and welcome to another session of Star Trek Adventures Second Edition. This is the second half of our mission, and I'm going to kind of summarize where we are, where everybody is at. Jolene, Dr. Divelle, I don't know if you had a chance to review things, or should I assume that you did not?
I watched, but look, a recap
Fair,
would
fair
be
enough.
helpful.
So the most important things to know are that we brought back our captain, Vate, who is back aboard the ship. He brought with him a new lead physician, and that is Dr. Pergral, a Trill, and there was, of course, lovely tension there between the captain and Litaal there, and then throughout going on. So they met on Starbase Hephaestus, uh, where the commander of that station, Captain Chiasa Tamura, this is a medical starbase. She had requested assistance from Starfleet for a number of matters. One of them being that because of their skeletal engineering team, they had a number of repairs that needed to be made. Some of those have been done, particularly on the communications array. So that has been fixed up. There are some other things that need to be fixed. Another thing is that they are working on a new EMH. This EMH is of Captain Tamura's grandmother, Dr. Reiko Tamura, who was instrumental in dealing with a plague on Arcturus 5. That was some revolutionary treatment there and is a really important person sort of in the medical field. And they ended up being like one of the first commanders of this Hephaestus station. So, it is kind of passed down through their family line. And Captain Tamura has made this EMH in her image and has put a lot more of her grandmother's logs and things into it as well. Now, to help out with that, they have Starfleet has agreed to allow the Kintsugi to share computing power. And there is a hookup right now between the station and the Kintsugi. Working on certain computational things for the EMH. There's also a, what do you call it? There's been a reception that's going to happen. There's been one, and essentially to kind of acknowledge and celebrate this new EMH progress and what is happening there. In the middle of this, arrived a ship carrying a number of very heavily wounded Cardassian prisoners. And they had come to Hephaestus wanting medical treatment here, and to have those prisoners secured at the same time. The captain suggested rather than putting them on Hephaestus that they be put on the Kintsugi, which they were agreed to. It became increasingly clear through this that the person who is overseeing this set of Cardassian prisoners may not have their best interests at heart. That our Andorian commander, Chicanis, uh, seems to have a secondary agenda, and to put it kindly, would not be upset if those Cardassians did not make it to their destination. Uh, this Another person that was along for the ride with this is a security consultant, apparently a civilian, that Captain Vate recognized as being with Section 31, a Mr. Marlowe. And the captain got some information from Marlowe regarding that. Now, towards the end of the episode, we had Suvari in the conduits. They had managed to get the communications array done, but they were still working on some other things with the warp conduits, and they heard some music, and that is the last we saw of them. Uh, now, the other important things that kind of came about is that Mr. Marlowe kind of put in Vate's ear that there's something else going on with Hephaestus, and the computer connection and those kinds of things. Uh, Commander Litaal took it on his own recognizance to go by himself down into the bowels of the station to check on what was going on with this merchant ship that is undergoing repairs. And so that is where Litaal is at this moment. But the big thing was that Commander Pergral was called back to the Kintsugi. The Cardassians are stabilized, but now people aboard the Kintsugi are getting sick. And just at kind of first blush, it actually looks like it might be the Ridelian plague, which is a Cardassian plague. At least at first blush, that's what the symptoms look like. So, Divelle, uh, what have you been doing? Do you think you were working on the ship, or are you arriving from somewhere, or what do
I
you
think
think?
I think she's arriving from shore leave, meeting the brother's fiance and all that, preparing for the upcoming wedding stuff,
Okay.
and
Uh,
then,
s-
you know, come back to never a dull moment,
yeah. So I do think that you will transport aboard the Kintsugi, and the transporter chief will say, "I don't know if we were supposed to bring you on board. There might be some sort of quarantine going on now, Dr. Devell.
I'm sorry, what?
I just got word that the new physician that there's something happening, some sort of illness going on board the ship."
Oh, well, I guess suppose I'll make my way to offer whatever assistance I can.
Okay.
I,
Uh,
I would
s-
love if Divell's com badge rings immediately.
okay.
Divelle, sick bay. Captain out. It's with your bag still in hand, right?
So let's when the camera comes in and we see Dr. Divelle arriving in sick bay and we see Pergral again, Stephen, give us again like what is our image on camera? What do we see Pergral doing? And then I'll have Divelle kind of describe, their arrival.
So, what we see on camera is it's kind of a hectic scene. We saw the Cardassians who previously on the in the episode we saw the Cardassians who were um, triaged and put onto beds. Now that they've been stabilized, they've been moved off to uh, what's it called?
So
The
some detention
security.
cells and security cells.
Yes.
They've spread
Yeah.
them out as best they can with
Yeah.
some makeshift force fields and stuff as well.
So, and then the sick crew members who are coming in, they're being triaged as well. They're being quarantined off into different areas. Some of them are on sick beds. Depending on the number, I think there might be a line, up against the wall for those who are just starting to experience symptoms, and we're checking them out.
Okay. And I think that Divell, you will see that. What does Pergral see? Like we haven't had you on camera for a little bit, so what do we see?
Okay, so yeah, Develle walks in, and she's still just back from shore leave. She's wearing the Starfleet, the DS9 colored scant, because you got to show off the legs. I was like, it's the pan up with the green legs into the suit. Because most people wear the classic suit, but this actress likes showing off, very much Nichelle Nichols style. And
Okay.
then she like reaches to tie her hair back, and how can I assist? And she's ready to speak to Dr. Previous, but
Yeah, the Bolian, yeah.
yeah, he's nowhere to be found.
So, discuss with me the quality of your symptoms, and I'll put you in the correct area so that we can triage you correctly.
I was summoned here. I'm Dr. Divelle,
Oh, fantastic.
head of
So
science.
yeah. So what we have here is we have some kind of contagion that may have come in with the Cardassian prisoners. They think it might be a Ridelian plague. Can you right now? I'm trying to uh, stabilize the patients. They're worse off. Um, I have my assistant who's been going through getting blood samples from everyone so that we can determine exactly what this is. Um, I don't know your expertise, but if you're a science expert, maybe you can examine this.
I can do, I'll do whatever I can, Dr.
Oh, Dr. Pergral.
Pergral. Pleasure to meet
Yeah.
you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm
Thank you very much.
Divelle.
Nice to meet you.
Uh, let's start with a roll, Dr. Divelle. I think it's
Oh,
a little
sure.
more challenging for you because you are coming from a science approach rather than a medicine
Yeah.
approach.
Like the virology, that's
Oh, yeah,
science.
you've got that, right? It's a focus for you?
I can read. No, I don't.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying that's how I BS it being a science role versus a medicine role.
Right. I'll just raise the difficulty on that a little bit.
Mhm.
So difficulty three, uh,
Okay.
reason or control plus science.
Difficulty three. Reason
There's two
control.
momentum in the pool.
There is two momentum.
I didn't even take one away between sessions.
Control plus science. Um, let's see. I will spend a momentum
Okay.
since it's difficulty three. And my odds are
Got a nice
do I get
15 or
a do I
less.
get a ship die?
Yeah, you'll get a ship die as well.
Okay, cool. Where'd my
Uh,
soccer ball go? Oh,
ship die will be computers plus medicine, so 12 or less.
okay. So 15 and 12 is what I'm
Okay.
15 and 12 is what I'm looking for. Well, that's not
So there's one success,
two
there's two
successes.
successes.
Yep, that's not a full success.
That is true. Dr. Divelle,
Hmm.
would you do me the kindness of adding the trait infected?
Of course, of course. This seems to be a common occurrence for me.
Yes. Uh, I think that though, like your first order of business is to pull the blood samples, to run the things, to pull up the medical charts on this. And I think very quickly you'll be able to establish the primary fact this is definitely not Rudelian plague.
Okay.
It shares some of those initial symptoms, but it is definitely not. It's not functioning in the same way as Rudelian plague at all.
Hmm.
Okay. Dr. Pergral, and we always assume that when we do kind of investigations that you have that piece of information when we come to you. So, what do you want to do for your role? What is it you want to accomplish? Do you want to set up a trait? Do you want to investigate further? What would you like?
Um, I think my key thing at this point would be to try to isolate the disease, to figure out how it's spreading and how to prevent it.
Okay.
So this would be either quarantine or something like that, um, to lock down everyone either in the, what was the name of the bar that we have?
The graveyard.
Maybe put them in the graveyard. Maybe keep them, if it overflows the medical facility, put them in the graveyard. Yeah. So,
Absolutely. I think
uh-huh.
so let's have you roll reason plus medicine.
Okay.
And I think that we can count that as a specialty for you there, or a focus rather.
And do I get a ship's die?
Yes, you will. 12 or less.
Okay. So I'm going to roll first with mine.
Okay.
Oh,
That's four successes.
yeah. And then this last one will be the ship's die.
Just four
Adding one.
successes. So uh you're going to have I'm going to answer like your question that you
Hmm.
have, and then you're going to have a couple momentum to spend as well. Uh this this appears to be the Arias plague. This is the plague that struck Arcturus 5. It is the plague that Dr. Tamura dealt with some time ago. Uh, it is a very, very challenging thing because Uh, it is transmitted auditorially. It is it is transmitted via sound, and essentially it creates resonances and passes it along that way. Uh, and so you're unsure how many people are already infected on board the ship. Does that
Mhm.
seem like a reasonable thing? And then you've got two momentum, which you could spend to ask questions, put it back in the pool, create a trait.
Okay, so let me talk through what I'd like to do, and
Sure,
then if that's not possible with momentum, I can assign that to someone else to work on.
sure.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to see, can the ship set up a noise canceling event? So basically, it would cancel out the noise that would potentially propagate this plague so that it cannot um, be transmitted further. And then as we get people who have symptoms, those can be isolated because we know that they're sick, but at least it would prevent it from spreading.
So, for one momentum of the two that you have, I will say that you can figure out like a four tick engineering device
Okay,
that could be built to stop it from further spread,
okay,
to create like an interference wave. It won't cure the people, but it will stop further propagation.
fantastic.
Uh,
And um, this four tick, the correct people, it looks like, correct PCs that could work on this would be me and Dr. Divelle.
you, Dr. Divelle, potentially Commander Litaal, as well as he's an
Okay,
engineer.
he has good engineering. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You've still got one momentum. Do you want to ask another question? Do you want to put it in the pool?
I think I'm going to put that in the pool.
Okay. All right. So we're going to put that to two. Let's let's do Litaal, and then let's come to Captain Vate.
If I can comment for just a second, if I'm not
Sure.
mistaken, at this point, I would make a shipwide announcement that everyone should plug their ears. There's something passing around, and I would also let the station know so that um, the commander and captain and Litaal all know, as well as those on the station.
You realize that you don't want to open comms to Hephaestus Station.
Oh, that's a good point. I can send
You
a
can send a
text
text.
message.
Yeah, so you can
Yeah.
we'll definitely send a text message
Okay.
over. Uh,
In quarantine kind of protocols. Right.
Absolutely. Uh, Lital, you have made your way down into, one of these substations of the starbase, and on one of these docking areas where you've kind of gone and you've looked at this merchant ship, and it looks like there's certainly been some delaying here with this ship. So what do we see
Um,
you do?
can I ask before I describe, um, are there Starfleet personnel deployed here?
Deployed here right now? No.
Well, in the sense of working on the ship, or do I get a sense that actually there's not a lot wrong with this ship?
There aren't any Starfleet personnel working on the ship at the moment.
Any
Uh,
signs that they have been? I'm wondering,
so now I think we're going to go to a roll.
yeah, I'm thinking
Reason and
reason and
engineering?
that works for me. So two dice. Um, and no, I can't do that. No, that'll do. Two dice.
Okay.
One success. The
Two.
two becomes
Think
no,
you?
I don't think I can. I don't
No.
think I can
I
claim a
think that's
focus on that.
two successes. So I'm going to give you something that I'm going to tell you kind of like as you're surveying here, uh, and then you can take the other bit to spend on a further question or momentum. It looks like there are and this has been mentioned before, there are two vessels down here. One of them is the damaged vessel. The other is kind of a layover vessel that is also doing kind of a checkup on here. And it looks like for this ship that is uh, damaged, uh, there have been clearly some Federation people that have come down to check on this. So for it to be said that, oh, it still needs more repairs, it has to be more than one person. It has to be a Federation person and a person from that ship kind of coming to an agreement that this is going on.
Then it's time to break out the engineering tricorder and make a judgment about whether it's time they left.
Okay. So you will check on that. What is your question with your other momentum then?
Um, two ships.
Yeah, there are two
The
ships
other
down.
one,
The other one looks like, and they kind of said this in passing, that there was a ship that was undergoing very basic repairs and look over there. Do you want to know about that ship?
I suppose I'm curious about, is that standard practice at a starbase, at a medical starbase?
It
Just,
does seem
coming in for
does
your MOT?
it does seem a little unusual that you'd have two happen this way. Um, I think that doesn't cost a momentum to answer that question.
Then my question about the other ship is, what are they doing? Is anything happening here? Are they, is somebody working here? Is there anybody? Is it just an empty hangar and these two ships?
Uh, it looks like the we'll call it uh, to describe the two ships. One of the ships is a free trader. The other is a merchant ship. The merchant ship is the damaged ship. Uh, and it looks like it's loaded some materials, some gear aboard.
Um, right. Well, break out the engineering tricorder, make a judgment about whether it's time to ask them to leave.
Okay. It does look like, if you find the captain like reasonably, you could say that this is done.
Well, find the captain and tell them it's done, and then inform Captain Tamura that uh, they seem to have finished down here. I'm instructing them to leave.
Absolutely. Well, let's spend to threat first, because I do think that you turn around with I think I'm going to find the captain, and turn around and see this person standing there with what looks like a disruptor out, and they have it aimed at you.
Classic Litaal. Do you understand that this starbase does not exist to maintain your ship? Um, can I suggest that we complete our? Why are you pointing a gun at me?
And I think I'm going to cut away from you at that point. Captain, you have received word about what's going on the Kintsugi at this point. And that Pergral has kind of texted you to say that there is a quarantine going on right now over there.
And then it's the area plague.
Yes.
Well, I know enough about Kiko Tamura to see the link there. So I'm going to go confront Captain Chiesa Tamura because this is too much of a coincidence, you know?
Absolutely. Uh, so you will, as you head down to find the captain, uh, you will see that there's kind of a little bit of chaos uh, when you get down there, because it does look like uh, their medical bays, besides having to deal with the sort of standard stuff, uh, there are apparently a number of Starbase personnel who are now sick. And right now, you can see people are kind of rushing back and forth. There's some kind of outbreak of something, and people are kind of wandering around in a daze and look confused, and uh, they are trying to get people, into to medical areas at this point.
Captain Tamora.
Captain Vate, uh, can you uh, can you give me a moment here? We're having some kind of outbreak right
Yeah,
now on board the Hephaestus,
an outbreak of the Arian Plague. Now,
and she'll
Oliver,
she'll look at you and she says, and she points to the people that they're putting into the med bay, and she goes, "Well, no, this is definitely not the Arias plague. The symptoms don't match up.
what's affecting the crew of the Kintsugi? Have you identified the contagion here?
We're still working on that. We've only just started to take people in to identify that, but I can assure you I know enough about the Arias plague that what's affecting people here on Hephaestus is not that.
And I will
Why don't you make
punch.
an insight plus command roll here?
Before I do that, I
Yes,
have a talent called Quick Survey. I
perfect.
spend momentum on the obtain information spend. I may immediately ask one question here, uh,
Absolutely.
which I always forget to use because
Yeah.
the question is, uh, does Tamara look like seem as though she's got anything to hide? Is she? I am a. It's anything that you can ask. You could obtain with your own senses, which I definitely cheated at by playing a telepathic Betazoid,
Okay.
uh, psychic powers.
So I
My
think
own.
the thing that you get is when you mentioned Arias plague, there is a brief flash of panic there, but then clearly, like suddenly, like, well, no, like
Yeah.
clearly it's
Okay.
not that because that's not what's happening here on Hephaestus.
Right. Okay. Uh,
Now you may make that command plus insight roll if you'd like.
that? I have a command of 4 and an insight of 9. I don't think any of my talents, my focuses come into.
I don't think so, no.
Been a while since I've used this particular dice roller. There we go. That's one success.
So what is it you want to know from this interaction with her? You've got some from what you've just established. So what is it that you want to know?
I want to tell me what's going on with the EMH and the Kintsugi's computing power. Because to me, the fact that the plague affecting the Kintsugi is the one that the EMH, the model of the EMH is modeled on, right? Like the cure, the bold work that Keiko Tamura did
Right.
on the Aria Plague, and my crew is falling sick with the Aria Plague after we've hooked up the computer systems to the EMH. What are the problems with the EMH that we've been discussing? Like this project that you're leading?
Here,
Tell me more about it.
uh, and I think that she will give you she goes through, and this is clearly something she's thought about, like she gives you a prepared statement, and it becomes increasingly clear as you're talking to her, like this is not what she's using the computer connection for. Like for the things that she's saying, given what you've already seen, given your conversations with other people, uh, they don't need your Kintsugi's computing power to finish out the EMH to do what she's talking about there. It is clearly being tasked to some other task, and
Right.
that is what she is hiding.
Then I will. I'm sure you'll understand. We're going to have to cease sharing the Kintsugi's power with you. We need to direct all of this to sickbay. Dr. Pergral needs to work on identifying a resonance that will block out for the spread of the plague.
Wait, are you saying that the Arias plague is on board the Kintsugi?
Seems to be that way.
Uh, and that does freak her out. And she will say, "I will. I'll have the connection severed immediately." Um, and she will like call up to the lab and say, "I need you to turn off the connection to the Kintsugi and shut down all ongoing processes there." And then anybody who has any medical training needs to come down here.
What
Is
have you
that
identified?
satisfactory, Captain?
Suppose if you're not going to tell me what you were really working on, Captain, then I'll have to do.
And you see her gesture to the sick people to use that as a means to get out of this conversation. And she will retreat to that.
Yeah, I'll grab a data pad and see what symptoms, and I'll send it over to Dr. Pergral. Uh, I want a full breakdown of, just I mean, I'll be happy to say that the last scene as she walks off and I pick up a data pad from the thing and I just did it. Pagal, I'm sending over Pagal, I'm sending over and it appears in text across the screen, right? Like voice
Yes,
basically.
absolutely. Voice to chat, you're sending that over. Excellent. Uh, let's cut back to the Kintsugi. Pergral, Divelle. You're you've you're telling Dr. Divelle, I assume, Pergral, about the discovery that you've made then with this?
Yes, of course. And we're going over the details about how could we potentially isolate this. And I'm going to give Dr. Divelle a few, an idea of how we could potentially create noise cancellation isolation sections of the ship in order to lock it down. Is that something you could help with?
I can certainly try, Dr. Pergral. And like you can see that like, the makeup department's got the sweat effects going on since she's now infected. She's like maybe leaning a bit heavily on some of the consoles.
I think that's our first step so that we don't become overwhelmed, and then we'll be able to find a cure.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Divelle, would you please roll control plus engineering?
Okay.
And assistance in this game is through the momentum pool. Is that correct?
No, you can also say, well, I think that I'm going to work together and also help out.
Okay, so why don't I do that?
Okay. Then let's have you roll control plus medicine, and you roll 1d20 to assist.
Okay.
All right.
So Steven is rolling
Stephen, you
control
roll
and medicine.
1d20. You roll medicine
Okay.
plus control. Divelle, you roll control plus engineering.
Okay. Um,
So that's one success there towards the clock.
okay, it's towards the clock. Okay. So every success counts towards the clock.
Yep, we've got 3 ticks left on this clock.
Okay. I'm going to spend my determination of acting with confidence even when I don't feel confident. Cause like, hey, I'm not prepared for this. I
Okay.
just got back and now I'm sick. So,
So spending that determination, two
yep,
ticks. So you just need one more success.
right. That that's two more
Two more
successes?
successes. So
Yeah.
that's one extra momentum. Do you want to roll a ship's die as well?
Oh,
12 or less.
do I get that since the player assisted?
I always throw the ship's die in
Oh, okay,
when I'm
cool.
being generous here.
I'll do it.
Okay. So you've got 2 successes. You can ask questions. You can throw in momentum.
I get to ask a question for free
Yep.
because of a science officer, assisted by sensors or computers.
Okay.
Um, let's see. What is the best way out? But like, what is the best like method for containing for containment?
Well, pretty much what Pergral said, but I
Okay.
think in addition, you probably do want to, you know, break up areas so you can have better control over, the sound baffling and
Okay.
things like that. I think that's important.
Okay. So my follow-up question is, which area is most vulnerable?
Right now, you do not want this to get to engineering
Okay. Cool.
or the communication system.
Okay. All right. Um, so
Weird, I brought up communication system again. That's the second time I've mentioned that this episode. Okay, interesting.
all right. So I think I get to once per scene get
Yep.
when I get to create a
Yeah.
trait.
Right. And I'm going to take that other momentum and put it in the pool. So we'll put the pool up to
Sounds
three.
good.
What do you want to call that trait?
Dr. Vastron, do you have any ideas? Let's collaborate since we're working together. And I'm bad at
Um,
naming things.
so
Um,
this would be a trait specifically aimed towards being able to. I think I think because of your research, you've isolated how to you did a really good job knocking out a bunch of the clock, how to isolate this. So I think you have
isolated
a good idea
frequency.
about how it, yeah.
Cool, cool.
So
Isolated frequency.
Okay. I think one of the other things that you are going to realize, Dr. Divelle, is that uh, the more that you work with this frequency isolation, actually, like to keep it from spreading to other people, uh, it does also seem to be uh, making you sicker when it's isolated. Like whatever this infection is accelerating when it's cut off from other other from the sound and from other people who are sick. So why don't you mark three stress?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Uh, so Pergral, give me a little bit of the description of what you're doing in that scene, what we see afterwards. Since,
so I think what I'm doing is, I walk over and I see Dr. DeVoe starting to work on the noise cancellation. I see the frequencies that she set up, and at that point, I know she's got this well in hand. I'm gonna go off, and I'm gonna start taking the people who are sick and start isolating them, putting them into different areas. As mild conditions come in, they're going to go into. I think we're going to evacuate the graveyard and start putting them in there. Mild cases go in there. I'll put up a force field just to make sure that they can't that any contagion might not exit that area. So that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to handle the crew, make sure that the people who are sick are in one area and the people who aren't sick are in another.
Absolutely. And I think to kind of give you this kind of as a second on to what you've been able to do, like there is a cure for this plague. It does require some more advanced replication, so it's not a thing you can do like super quickly, but if you want, you can start tasking the replicators to producing the cure effectively.
I think I'm going to the patients that are worse off, I'm going to start with them and replicate enough of the cure for them, but I'm not going to start mass creating it because for all I know, this could be a variation.
Okay, I think that
So
seems more than reasonable. And you are given a communication from Commander Vate with some medical description of what's going on in Hephaestus, and it is definitely not this.
fantastic. So I feed that back to the commander. This is definitely not the same thing. These are our symptoms. This is I list the people who are worse off. Um, Dr. Divelle has come aboard and seems to be infected from this, but has locked down so that has locked down the infection so that it won't potentially spread on ship. We're still keeping down no audio communications in any direction. Um, and I should let security know to make sure that they monitor all audio connections to make sure nobody does anything. So I'm going to let security know.
Okay.
Um, and go through exactly what the status is right now on the ship.
Okay. So yeah, you're checking on that. You're getting set down. So we'll say that security is set that way. I don't want to come back to Litaal. Instead, I want to come back to somebody else. And I think we're going to see Juras and a couple of other Bajorans elsewhere on the Kintsugi. And I think they're not feeling great. But I think there's a conversation, and one of the other Bajorans, another ensign, is like, I thought that when Vate came back, like, I thought he would actually stand up, you know, to this whole thing. Like, like people said that he wouldn't have backed down from what went on with the Dominion. Uh, but he's just letting these Cardassians aboard. We have to protect them.
It's worse than that. I just heard Khan, Dr. Khan, rushing into sick bay or rushing from sick bay. And I swear to God that I heard him say the Arias Plague. No, Rigelian, the
Redelian.
Cardassian,
Yeah. Yeah.
Redelian, the one that affects Cardassians, that they brought a plague on board and they're queuing down the corridor. It's jumped to other people.
Oh, see, this is how they get you. This is how they do this. They practice every kind of warfare. This is bio warfare. This is this is what they do.
I'm going down there,
Down to security.
wherever those Cardassians are. I want to get
Oh,
some answers.
okay. And I think we're going to cut. There's a little bit of chaos on the ship because they've actually shut down internal comms except for text comms in here to secure stuff. And a lot of the security staff are not present in the security area because they've been tasked to help seal off the thing. Uh, but Will, can I put Tvilic in your hands again?
Of course.
Uh, Tvilic, you're there, and in security, you've got these Cardassians in the holding cells with they've got medical scanners on them. They're stabilized. You have Lieutenant Commander Chicanis is there, who's kind of been observing this, and you've certainly gotten a weird vibe from him. Um, and
And
then,
I think Tvilic and the two guards that are here are actually wearing Starfleet spacesuits. Uh,
okay.
and
Oh, two guards. What do you mean two guards? It's Tvilic.
Oh, it's Tvilic. Well, Tvilic's in a spacesuit then.
Yes, you're in a spacesuit. Takanis is there, and the doors open, and you will see three ensigns, Bajorans, led by Juarez, come into the security area.
Carrying wrenches.
Yes.
I think from the cameras, from Tvilic's point of view, right, and one of the Bajorans says something, and there's no audio whatsoever through the suit, and he goes, and then it opens up. Ensigns, what appears to be the problem? Been assigned down here. I'm not aware of any engineering emergency.
So, we don't want any trouble with you. We just want to find out from the Cardassians what they've done.
The Cardassians have been down here the entire time. Ensign
Yeah,
Juarez?
yeah. But the bugs got into the ship systems, hasn't it? Because why else are people being sick?
It's a good question. And he looks over at Akonis.
What do you think, sir? Addressing Lieutenant Commander Chaconis.
And he will stop and he will say, well, we know the Cardassians are capable of a lot. Not de-escalating the situation at all, Tvilic.
So
Hmm.
you're chief of security. We need to find out what they've done.
What they've done, Ensign, is they've been beamed aboard here and received medical treatment.
Yeah, it
And
doesn't
now,
mean they can't ask the questions.
and you think that I wasn't aware that was part of the assistant pilot's role?
Well, sir, nobody else is asking questions. You're not asking any questions.
I, Jerez, right now I'm asking a lot of questions, and they're not ones that you're gonna want anybody else to hear.
And by the way, I'm just now going to point out, now that you're kind of seeing them, I think Jerez and the other two are TV show sick in that way, where they've got like beads of sweat on them that they've kind of to show that they've maybe got a little bit of a fever.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the whole high noon hand on the phaser at his side, right, attached, clipped to the outside of the spacesuit, and it's gonna say, "Ensigns, you need to return to your quarters immediately. That's an order. I'm giving you to the count of five."
I'm happy to be commanded.
Let's let's have you, Tvilic, make a uh, make a control, sorry, presence plus command roll here.
But Tvilic is a really overwhelming commanding presence with his 11. uh, okay. That's a miss on both of them. But does Tvilic get determination? He does because
Yeah,
he
he
has a.
has determination because he's got a value.
Yeah. Uh, but I think it's more interesting for Tvilic to fail this role, to be perfectly honest with you.
All right. I think Tvilic, you are getting ready to draw down when Chicanis stuns you. Hits you with the phaser and knocks you out.
Yeah. Nice. I like it. Yeah. The Jerez is like backing away, right? And Tvilic takes a step forward. And like it all seems to be in hand, and then
Zoop, drops you down. We'll come back to that, to Jerez, in a bit. We're going to come back after the break to Litaal down in the hangar bay. So let's take 10 and then we will come back, okay? So Litaal, you are there. This person, you will see her pictured there. Harasil, the merchant, there in the NPC tab, and she has her disruptor out, and you see her looking at you, kind of trying to assess what her next move is. You are muted, though.
That's interesting because I'd like to roll insight and command to try to get a read on her.
I think
You
that's a
know,
reasonable
is
thing to do.
she and I'm going to apply incisive scrutiny. So if I succeed, I can ask a question as if I spent momentum.
Okay.
So
Insight plus
insight
command is a
10,
13.
13. So let's go
The real
with
question there is the if you succeed.
indeed so. Indeed so. Oh, right, hang on. There we go. So there's 2 dice. I will spend 1 momentum in order to get a 3rd dice. There we go. Oh, 1,
One, two,
10, and
three,
9.
four. Four successes.
And I'd like to suggest that my focus of command theory might apply here.
I don't think command theory for cold reading this person, but you've got four successes.
Okay.
You get a free question though.
Yes. So let's ask the free question first.
Sure.
What's at stake here? Is she sufficiently engaged with whatever she's doing to actually kill me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're a senior engineering person. Uh, do you want to spend one of those momentum to ask what exactly is going on here to put
Yes,
two and two together.
exactly.
So
And so
I
it is
think
that kind of perhaps you could explain to me what exactly is going on here,
I think
giving
you'll
the villain a chance to monologue.
we'll flash back a little to last time when Savari found and probably reported to you that there were a number of places where repairs had been done with certain components that weren't actually there, specialized Federation components, ones that aren't necessarily traded out and so on. And I think that you will put two and two together, and the chief engineer probably has something going to have pieces drop off the manifest and get traded off to this merchant.
So I've got a free question. I've used one momentum to ask a
Got
question,
three left.
free left. Put two of those into the pool.
Okay.
And can I ask you a question for a moment?
Yeah.
Is Captain Tamura sufficiently concerned to have sounded yellow alert?
Oh, uh, I that's a good question. Do you want to spend that last momentum to
I'll
have
spend
that?
that momentum to.
Okay, then yeah, I do think that yellow alert has come on, and essentially standard medical isolation protocols are now in
Yeah, I'm
effect.
guessing that Harasil doesn't know that, and so I'd like to follow up with, um, you'll gather that they've noticed I haven't checked in.
Interesting. Okay, I think that is going to be daring plus command, my friend.
Okay, so that is yeah,
I'm going to
not
give you
not
the focus though.
okay. So I can have a spare dice for that. Oh no, I don't get a spare dice,
You
do I?
get you get a focus,
It's
so threes or less are
yeah,
crits.
okay. So that is a 10. I am going to spend one of those momentums I just put in the pool to get another dice.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I think that's going to be as good as it gets. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that!
Five successes. Uh, may I offer you a Deus Ex Machina and give you a couple of momentum left? Uh, I think that like she does like look up startled when you say that. Uh, and
I think your ship's ready to leave.
and then you see her get hit by a phaser blast, and she will drop, and you will see someone standing there by the other ship
Ah,
who has phasered this captain.
um, and I think after this we can cut. Litaal looks at her, looks around at the person who's helped him, and says, "I'm not sure your ship should be here either."
And I think we kind of zoom into that person, and I think that's the point at which you notice that they can't hear you because they're wearing ear coverings.
Ah, cut.
Yep. Uh, Captain Vate, um, uh, you haven't heard from Litaal. You haven't heard from Suvari. And actually, the engineering team that you have working in the thing have like they should have reported back by this point, but they've kind of fallen off the radar. What do you want to do, Captain?
Hephaestus Station, locate Commander Litaal.
Commander Litaal is in, Dock 37E.
Uh, Punch the turbo lift and head down there.
Okay. And we will see you descending down. And I imagine we actually come to like just shortly after Litaal has noticed they've got ear things on. You will open kind of a little ways down the dock. You will see that Litaal is there, There is a person unconscious by Litaal, disruptor on the floor, and there is another person uh, who has a phaser, a smallish person. Looks like they might be Arcturan, and they have ear covers on. Um, and Litaal has said something to them, but they've clearly not heard.
Well, with a quick survey, do I spot a way to perhaps clamber among some gantries or, sneak up on this person that clearly,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you want to make that roll to do that?
yeah, I do, yeah.
Okay. I think you've certainly got fictional positioning to do this. Fitness plus security,
Yeah, that sounds good. That is
but you're going to have
16.
to describe jumping off of the crates
No,
onto them.
like that's the Star Trek way, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Ah,
yeah, in a move that's like at once kind of looks kind of, like as to do it. I don't think any of my talents, my focuses come into this or my
yeah, you have hand-to-hand combat.
okay. So how much momentum do we have?
Right now, we got 5 momentum.
Can I be leaving money on the table not to spend it, right?
Absolutely.
I wish the D20 was larger than the other dice in this dice roller rather than the smallest one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's two successes,
2 successes.
a range, but also a complication.
A complication. Uh, so I think that as you jump off and you are coming down, for a second, you think you heard music. And would you please add the trait infected? But then, boom, two-handed behind the head will knock this person down. They will come crashing to the ground. Their phaser will drop. Litaal.
The camera shows them like turning around, right, and it hides the cut of
Yeah.
the knocking down, like jumping off the crate. Yeah.
Was that entirely necessary, Captain? Cut.
Let's come back to Dr. Divelle. You've got this isolation thing going. You know that the Arias Plague, and then because you're the senior officer on the ship right now, I think that you will get the alert, phaser fired in security.
Uh, what security team personnel are left on board?
We're locking like you'll check they're out distributed around. I think you'll realize that only Tavalic is down in security right now because everybody else is getting these stuff in place to isolate the units and get people safely quarantined.
Uh, Dr. Divelle to Tavalic. Dr. Divelle to security, and it's just like nothing. I'm like, okay. Um, excuse me, Dr. Pergral, I need to go investigate something.
Um, I don't
Uh,
think you should. You are ill, and you need to be quarantined.
that is,
What is so pressing?
well, shots have been fired, so we need to
Um,
lock down that situation and see what it's occurred.
damn it, you're not security. You stay here. Can you manage the med bay? I'm not impacted at this point. I will go.
Thank you. I have no medical training, Dr. Pergral.
Okay. Um, in that case,
I'm a botanist.
okay. Um,
I would like to make a suggestion, if I may.
mhm.
Narratively, uh, you could put Khan in place, but maybe if you went with Divelle, you would feel more secure about that.
Yeah.
Does that sound
Um,
reasonable?
I think so. Um,
Sounds exciting.
yes, that sounds perfect.
Uh, so we do see the two of you, head to the turbo lift. Divelle, how do we know that you're not feeling well? Like what's the on-screen?
Oh, like I think the green makeup is like a paler green than usual. And she's just like, God, I just need a sun lamp and some nitrogen. It'll be
And I think I'll give you a little, booster.
thank you. How are you enjoying the ship so far? As we're like taking the lift down.
Been exciting. Not a dull moment.
Hmm. Well, that's Starfleet.
Jerez. Uh, I think that the Andorian will say, well, I have matters to attend to. And he puts his phaser away and he goes to leave and leave you three Bajorans in here.
I think I would like to roll um, insight and command to try and get some sense of whether I'm being manipulated.
Absolutely. Why don't you roll that?
That's a whole 10,
That
by the
is.
way. So I'm going to spend some momentum. I don't see why supporting characters shouldn't get that
Oh no,
benefit.
they can certainly spend through your momentum. Absolutely.
And so we're looking for tens. Oh, now I have
You have
a value. Diamonds are formed under pressure, which I think is relevant in this circumstance,
yes. And
just in
because you have a
case.
value, you have a point of determination. Spend that for two successes.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is another three.
So for your determination, I think there is that moment when you kind of come in, the three Bajorans are behind you, the two Bajorans are behind you, uh, and I think that like you're looking down at the stunned body of the security chief, your comrade, person who you fought alongside, who has been stunned by this Andorian, uh, and you realize that the Andorian is hoping very much that you're just going to kill these Cardassians.
Jurors to the bridge. Lieutenant Colonel Chaconis is a danger to the crew.
And I think that he is going to shoot you three now. But you've got three momentum. What do you want to do with that momentum, Juris?
Um,
Do you want to establish a trait? Do you want to?
yes,
Okay,
yes. I'm just wondering about which one. Chaconis worried.
okay,
And then anything I've got left, we'll put in the momentum pool.
okay. Oh, that's huge text.
Chaconis is very worried.
Very worried there. So yeah, so we'll put that last one back in. And Chaconis turns to wide beam stun the three of you. Uh, so I'm going to roll for him. Let's spend. Oh, you gave me some threat earlier, so let's spend one of those. So I have one, two, three, four successes, but the trait that you applied will reduce his successes down to three. Uh, so you may make an attempt to get out of the way of that, Juris, if you can match three
Fitness,
successes.
fitness plus
Security.
security. That is 12. So that's two successes. Spend a momentum
Yeah,
and keep my fingers crossed. Not as good.
not as good.
No, no.
So I do think that he will. Oh, but you got a success there, right?
I did get one.
The other two go down. Juris is still up.
I leap at him, wrench in hand.
Okay. Daring plus security.
Is 9, 13.
Okay. I've got 3 successes.
I'm going to spend another momentum and roll 3 dice. Oh, yowza. Security is 4. I rolled a 3 and 1. So that's 2 successes, isn't it?
2 successes. So I think you go swinging at him, but he dodges back. He is a trained Andorian combatant, and I think that we will see him turn, and we probably hear the music as you two are dancing around one another there. But as is dramatically appropriate, I think that's when the turbo lift doors open. Divelle, Pergral, I think you will see a couple of ensigns unconscious in the hall, like with wrenches that have fallen, and Ensign Jurez and this Andorian security commander like fighting, wrestling for the phaser, that kind of thing.
All right.
Divelle.
Yes. I'm going to give you a threat to ask a question,
Okay,
as if it were an obtain information.
sure.
What here is not what it appears to be.
Oh, it is definitely that. Uh, I think you can tell that Ensign Juris has come down here to deal with the Cardassians, but then changed his mind, and is then this Andorian, when they are fighting with Juris, they are not fighting to disable to disarm Juris. They are clearly fighting to like really take Juris out.
Okay. And let's set phasers to stun, and warn them, drop it. Just back away. We're gonna give them the chance to surrender. You're surrounded. There's no escape.
Uh, Presence plus command.
Okay.
This is one of your strengths.
So 13.
Pergral, what are you doing anything while this is happening? I just want to check before I make that roll.
Yeah, I think I'm stepping out, and if the two ensigns that are down aren't too far, I'm going to check them.
Okay.
Go down and check them, get out my med kit. Um, and
Definitely just hit with phaser stun.
this is a chance for me to get a little bit closer
Okay. I
to the
think
lieutenant commander.
that's fair.
I'm gonna spend a momentum and roll. 1, 2, 3. 13 or less is what I'm looking for, and
Wow.
that's
That is
1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
4 successes. What is it between you and Pergral and Juris that makes him realize that he is not in a position that he can win? Is it that you take a shot at him? Is it
Oh,
that the weapon goes out of his hand? What do you think it is?
yeah, I think I'd take a warning shot, and maybe in my sickness, I accidentally knocked the weapon out of his hand. Not
All
intentional,
right, that
pure luck.
clip the arm where
But
it
she's just trying to act as cool as possible. Like, yes, that was me.
Juris, he will kind of slump away,
I
uh,
hit him with the wrench.
and and Juris will clock him hard with the wrench.
Juris,
Juris, what do you say to that?
He's a danger, sir.
he surrendered.
Well, he's really surrendered now.
Pergral, you can check, and it looks like nothing has happened to the Cardassians. Like they're all stable medically. These two ensigns are out. The Andorian is now out due to a wrench to the head.
So, Ensign Juris, can you explain the phaser fire that happened here?
Yes, sir, Doctor. The Lieutenant Commander stunned Lieutenant Tvilic, who you will have found just coming round, perhaps.
So, Dr. Divelle, I think we're done here. I'm needed elsewhere. Um,
Let's.
do you have this under control?
I think so.
I think all of you need to return to quarantine. You've all been exposed. As soon as I get through working on this, then um, I will come verify that there's no other issues. And I'm going to head back to the. So, is the med bay the best place to work on? We have the isolation set down, right? We
Before you
finished that
get back
quest?
to the
Mhm.
med bay, Ensign Juris will say to Tvilic, "I'm sorry about that, sir. I'd like to surrender myself."
We're running short on holding space, Jurez. So if you could just hold off for a minute. Oh, how did you beat an Andorian in hand-to-hand combat?
It wasn't easy, sir.
Divelle behind, making a face. Uh, so to answer your question, you were asking where's the best way to do the work on this, Pergral, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think probably your med bay where you're at has access to your personal computers to work on that. Uh, so you can return to getting those things in place there.
Okay. And we finished the clock for isolation. Is that correct?
Yep, absolutely.
For the noise canceling. Good.
Yeah, you've got the noise canceling, which means that people are still sick. It is possible to treat them for the Arias Plague because you have the essentially the inoculation for it.
Mhm.
But so there, other people aren't going to get infected. They aren't going to get worse. You've got them in a good place there.
Fantastic.
Divelle, anything you want to say to Jurez or to Vilik?
Well, let's make sure to round up the other Andorian, but we'll have a disciplinary hearing later, Juris.
Let's cut back to the dock there, uh, where Commander Litaal and Captain Vate are there with a couple of unconscious people and a couple of ships.
I was about to ask why this person has those things on their ears.
I don't think they could hear you, Litaal.
Exactly so. Flip out the engineering tricorder and try to work out what are the properties of these ear coverings. Because I don't think Arcturans routinely wear them.
Okay, there is a standard noise canceling headphones, pretty strong, pretty effective.
Now, Litaal knows nothing about this sound communicated plague.
Right.
So I turn to the camera and say, why on earth is she wearing noise cancelling earplugs?
Well, that's when Vate, stands up from having tossed you the headphones and, staggers for a second as this illness begins to take effect. And he, suddenly in between shots, there's that slight sheen of acting sickness makeup on. See, Arias Plague, Litaal. It's spreading across the Kintsugi. It's not just so they don't have to listen to you.
Well, then we need to do something about that. Put the
Yes.
earplugs in.
And then as you put the earplugs on, Vate says, if only it came with a muzzle as well. And then he just goes, he leans in close to Litaal and yells, we need to come up with something to protect the ship from this spreading. You got this? And I'm going to go, he points at one of the ships. I'm going to go take a look.
I'll head to engineering.
Um, and yeah, phaser out, stagger slightly, in cinematic fashion, and I'm going to go
Absolutely.
pop up on one of these ships and take a look inside.
So you will go
Having
over.
secured both of the
Yes,
captains.
assumed that they are both secured.
That's Star Trek stunned. They're
Yeah.
secure.
They're out until he spends threat.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do have threat. Anyway, so Vate, let me have you make a uh reason plus science roll here.
Oh, my strongest suits. Well, we still have three in the momentum pool, I believe.
Yeah.
Uh, I will. Uh, wait, I'm looking at. No, I am looking at me. For a second, I thought I was looking at Ward by mistake. I was like, wait, Ward's not on this. Okay, so I'll roll.
Hallucination.
Yeah, hallucination. Yeah, entirely. Yeah. It's one success.
One success. So you will be able to two successes.
I've got a science. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. I have a one of 11. So,
Okay.
No, I was
uh,
wrong. Reason and science is a 10. I was looking at presence.
hmm. So one success.
One success. Uh so uh I think that you will go on board this ship and like look around and you will find that there is some kind of machine that you can't identify. It's like nothing you've seen before that is running here. It doesn't seem like it's connected to the ship systems. Like it's not into like for transport, warp core, or life support or anything like that. And but like you look at it and you can't make her heads nor tails of it.
I I reach out and touch it, and I use my ESP psychometry to get a feel for it. So I'll give you a threat, though.
Oh, my friend. I have traveled the screaming, howling void of space. I am, I am here. I pass through. I exist in this world here. I hunt for the other one. I seek them out. That is what I do. I am trapped in this device. They have let me out. I will spread my song throughout this place. I will infect all of those. I will make them part of my collective, and I will hunt the other. You hear that voice in your head, and then the voice says, "You are mine."
Nice.
And I
Yeah,
imagine we've got, voice distortion. If I was rich, I would have had a full like bah, bah, kind of thing
yeah.
going on there.
Flashing, like the whole kind of like, when they first worked out
Yeah,
vision mixers in the late 90s, and they just had a whole array of just like stars and psycho things flashing across the screen, and then they staggers back from the device.
absolutely. And you will realize you have been infected by this living conscious virus.
Hmm. Oh man. Well, I think that I get the impression this might be some sort of prison for the virus as opposed to the source of it. Uh,
It's certainly, yeah, it seems to be, but you suspect that it has been turned on to allow it to disseminate through here,
okay.
through Yep. Um, so
Is there seems phaserable because that would seem the dramatic thing to do in this situation, right? Is to phaser some part of it and turn it off. But I can do the more prosaic, get an engineering team in here, I suppose.
it is up to you. Um, but the thing definitely wants you to phaser it.
The thing wants me to phaser it. Yeah, my hand raises, and it shakes for a second as the voice swells, and then they will throw the phaser aside and stagger out of the ship. And then that's probably a good point to cut away as he looks up and the camera's like, da-da.
I think that's perfect. Litaal, you're headed to engineering. What do you want
Um,
to do?
uh, Dr. Pergral, can you brief me on this auditory plague?
So I think that the way we've set up comms is you can talk all you want to into your communicator and it comes across a pad. So I'll reply back on the pad saying, you know, basically, I think I send you my notes. Here's the auditory plague. Here's the historical record. Um, we have isolated members of the crew in these locations. And we have prevented the spread at this point, and we are in the process of replicating um, inoculations in order to make the crew well again. However, in addition, there seems to be on this station a completely different disease.
Okay, the station is less of a concern at this point. And presumably, my tricorder is playing that text to me as
Yeah.
I make my way up the station, and across through the connecting to the Kintsugi, um, and go to engineering.
Oh, so you want to go to engineering in the Kintsugi?
Yes,
Okay. So you'll probably have the
and
transporter.
look for Savari.
So Suvar, is on the station, but
Ah,
if you want to get to engineering, essentially, Tatasa and the others are there in engineering. So do you want to have the transport used directly to engineering?
oh, if that's possible. I'm just slightly worried about whether this auditory thing could get into the transporter buffers.
Well, what do you want to transport her over or
I want
no?
to go there on foot and
Well,
arrive sweaty.
well, there's not like there's like you'd have to take a shuttlecraft to get over there
Oh, I
physically.
see. Sorry, I thought we'd actually hard docked. Oh, in which case, transport me straight to engineering
Okay,
and find me
absolutely.
Savari and Tatasa.
Okay, you will transport over to engineering. Uh, you'll transport in, and you'll see there are people there in engineering, and you see all of them stop as soon as you appear. Tatasa and the others, they all go frozen, and you see them all turn as one and look at you. And you will see them start to pick things up, and they begin to raise them, and they start to charge at you as one to kill you.
Okay, well, it's just as well that my expertise is in the nooks and crannies of the Kintsugi. I head to the nearest Jeffreys tube and decide to go to the shortcut, which is to head via Jeffreys tube
So you got to
down to the main deflector control.
Okay, so you running to escape from this group
Yes.
of infected who are going to coming to kill you and your particular infection right now. All right, I think that's going to be fitness plus security, Litaal.
Okay, that is 13. And I will spend a momentum. Um, and I would like to suggest a focus on the quickest route to a Jeffreys tube, my nooks and crannies, the
I think
Kintsugi.
that is perfect.
So I'll roll 3 dice and I'm looking for 10, 13. Oh, too many. Damn, sorry. I'm too excited. 3 dice. Oh, what's under there? That is one success.
One success. Litaal, you go to run to get out of this, and you're getting to the Jeffries tubes, and then they are pulling you back in en masse. They are dragging you back in. You're trying to kick them off, but it's all of engineering who have left their position, and they are there. What is the comm you want to send?
Um, the engineering crew have gone mad.
Uh, Dr. Divelle, uh,
Yeah.
you've gotten the situation cleared up. You've gotten Juris back in. Tvilic is handling his things. Pergral is headed back to medical when you'll hear Litaal's comms come over.
I just Jolene is very kindly reminding me I have determination. I'm just wondering if this might be a time to spend it.
It does seem like this would be a good time to spend it.
And I'd like to apply this to value either reluctant affection for former shipmates or deep affection for Kintsugi.
Okay. So you can re-roll
Reluctant.
those 2d20 that you missed on.
Okay. One success. So
One
that's two
success.
successes,
So
not
two,
one.
two successes. So I think there is that moment. I think they will strip you of your weapons and equipment, Litaal. And but before your badge gets taken, you will be able to send that cry out, and then you vanish into the Jeffries tubes. Does that sound reasonable? So Divelle, you will get that.
When it rains, it pours. It's like, to feel like, do we have a security team at all? Can we lock down engineering? Maybe pump in
I
some
and
gas to knock them out?
Divelle will say, I've got to keep an eye here on the Cardassian thing. We've got the teams. As soon as they've got the isolation done, we can start to move them to other positions. I don't want to gas anybody because we don't know what's going on.
It's true.
Tvilic not set force fields up around engineering.
I can keep engineering isolated.
That seems to be our best bet, but they still have control of engineering, which is not ideal.
Tvilic will pause. That does seem like an accurate assessment. You are the senior officer.
Well, technically, Dr. Peregrine outranks me now, but right. Um, okay. I'm going to I'll be back. I'm going to investigate further. Maybe I can find Litaal.
All right. Uh, Dr.
Get in the
Pergral,
Jeffrey Tubes time.
uh, you will be able to get the this cure set up and
Okay.
administrate that to the worst of the people that this is happening to. Uh, what is your next step after that?
So as long as they start responding, I think that's whenever I'm going to start mass generation of the cure, because it's spreading and because there's so many people that seem to have this. So you said it was a complicated uh, uh, synthesis, correct?
It's a little more time involved synthesis to do the replication on this. Yeah.
So I think I'm going to call down to engineering and see if they can potentially help resolve any of this. Like, can you speed this replication up for the good of the ship?
I think you will reach down to engineering and no one responds. You get no response
That's
on
it.
any challenge.
Yeah. So then I contact security and I get Devilic.
Tvilic said, uh, what's the question, Commander Pergral?
Um, I'm trying to contact engineering so that I can get better replication. Why isn't engineering online?
Uh, well, Dr. Divelle had me put force fields up around engineering. Apparently, everybody in engineering has gone mad, and attacked and maybe killed
Okay.
Commander Litaal. We're trying to find him. His comm badge shows he's still in engineering, but he hasn't moved.
Um, so who is handling this?
Well, right now we're just keeping the force field set up because I've got to. Dr. Divelle, can you please speak with Dr. Pergral?
Yeah.
Put you in the.
Oh, you're on mute.
Yes, Bassman. She's crawling, cut to crawling through the Jeffrey tubes where she looked up the schematics of the best potential way, but she's not Savari. She's not Litaal. So,
Yeah. Where are you?
And currently in Junction 73.
I'll head that direction to try to meet you. Um, and we'll see if we can't get this thing in engineering handled. So I'll meet up with you.
Okay.
Um, and my understanding is that Litaal is still in engineering. At least that's the recording that we have.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see what's going on with Litaal as well. He
Okay.
seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders, although it's, difficult to deal with.
Right. Uh let's let's come to the captain and then we'll come back to this particular cluster of things. Uh Captain, what is your next step?
Uh, Tap the com badge. Hephaestus Station, Captain Tamura. I need an engineering crew down to the dock to the bay. There's something here.
She'll say,
That,
I've got my engineering people helping out with medical up here. What about your engineering team?
we've lost contact with the Kintsugi's engineering team.
Uh,
Captain, I'm ordering you. This is a matter of this is an emergency. This is your station, your crew. God damn it, get Chief Hayabusa down here right now.
all right. I'll chase up the chief and send him down there.
Yeah, and I'm happy. I want to confront Chief Hayabusa here, and given what we've established with the engineering crew, maybe there was at the start me going, Kintsugi, engineering team, Litaal, anyone, yeah, and then
Are you going to comms over to the Kintsugi?
yeah, sure, I will. Did it, Litaal, anyone?
Divelle,
Mm-hmm.
you will hear this hateful voice come over your comms. It is the voice of someone that you want to destroy, you want to kill. And it's only in the back of your mind that you will realize that it is also the captain that is speaking to you. But something inside you tells you that your captain must be destroyed.
No.
Do you respond? Would you like to try and respond normally?
Yeah, you know what? She will
Okay.
try
Then
to
let's say I
control.
think fitness plus command.
Fuck.
It's not bad. That's a 13.
Yeah, I know. I'll spend a momentum. Uh, yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Look at that. Three
Hey.
successes. You
Phew.
will tamp down this feeling, this other mind that is operating that has come to the surface, and you can speak to the captain here.
Captain, we're having a bit of situation, and apparently, my infection's getting worse as I'm
And
having.
captain, I think with that three successes, I'm going to kind of carry that over. So you're also holding on, but you also feel that same thing. That infection in you wants to destroy Divelle.
I think I know exactly what you mean, Divelle, as he clutches onto the side of the ship, and staggers for a second. We hear that voice. I hear the whispers too. Shouts, I suppose. Listen, there's something here that's causing all of this, some sort of relic inside these merchant vessels in the bay. Uh, Divelle, if we can't contain this, we need to destroy the Kintsugi and the station. It can't spread.
Okay, understood. T- t- As there, I want to beam over there and study this thing. Like, what can you tell me about it? Like, right now, engineering is offline, as in, I don't, I believe the infection's worse down there. And she's like, crawling.
Yeah, yeah. Divelle, I know that this is hardly botany, but it's up to you. You and
Um,
Pergral and any of the officers left, you need to secure engineering, secure the warp core, and do whatever it takes. The Hephaestus crew seems
well,
to be
that's
suffering, but they don't seem to be irrational or controlled as yet. But this thing,
well,
it's sentient. Well,
to borrow parlance from our new doctor, wouldn't that just be treating the symptom and not the cause?
I think it'd be doing both. If that's all that's left, that's all we have to do, Divelle.
All right.
Good luck. Yeah.
And I think as we hear that, as you're kind of leaning against the ship, I think that's when we see the uh, uh, lift open, and I think we'll see Hayabusa comes out. He's got his engineering kit over his shoulder. He looks at you. You see him look over at his co-conspirator who is tied up there on the uh, floor of the sh launch bay, and he begins approaching you, Captain. Is everything okay, Captain?
Chief, what the hell is this? Who are these people and what's this? What have they brought on board your station? What have they brought on board my ship?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Quick survey. Does he seem to recognize these two?
He recognizes the woman in yellow. He has no idea who the Arcturan is. Or rather, like he doesn't recognize her in a way other than she's the other captain, but it's very clear that there's a connection between him and the uh, smuggler, effectively.
Yeah. So it was on the Arcturian ship, right? The whose ship was it on? Do we know?
The
I can't remember.
Arcturans. So he doesn't recognize the person who brought this device.
Right, but she had the headphones on, right? So
Nope. No, the Arcturian did, but she the one that is involved in the conspiracy to steal from the station that Hayabusa is tied up in,
right,
they're just smugglers.
I just smugglers, and then there's a third. Uh, you're the end. Listen, whatever you've got going on here with this, and I nudge her with my toe. It doesn't matter anymore, Hayabusa. There are bigger things. Are you still a Starfleet engineer?
Control plus command.
Uh, I'm going to spend a point of determination and give myself immediately two successes.
Two successes.
Yeah, and then I will roll anyways, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And that's two successes again, so that's four
Okay.
successes.
So you will get one back as momentum. I do think that you call him out on this, and like he looks around. He came down from upstairs where there's this plague running through, and he will say, "What do you want me to do, Captain?"
I want you to take a look at this. And with the camera pans, we step
Okay.
into, and we need to put whatever's out there back inside this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm going to roll 1d20 because I might get no, I think that's below my, if I roll equal to or less than my control rating, I get my thing back, but I didn't roll that.
No.
So, oh, well, I'm never as good as Captain Carlton at regaining my determination.
Right, right. Very good at that. Litaal, you will be moving through the Jeffries tubes, and I think you will hear movement up ahead of you.
Shortest route to deflector control. And as I come around a corner, I see Savari.
No, Savari isn't on this ship.
Oh no, she's not. She's on
No.
down. So okay, so
However,
who do I see?
however, I will spend the threat, Dr. Divelle. You notice you're not far away from where you're going to rendezvous with Dr. Pergral, and then you will see Commander Litaal, who needs to die. You need to kill Commander Litaal. He needs to die. And Commander Litaal, you will also see Dr. Divelle, who also needs to die.
I, I've got my
Oh, you
ear.
got the headphones on. That's right.
Yeah.
You're just infected. You are asymptomatic, so you are showing up as a threat, but you are not controlled. Uh, Dr. Divelle, what do you do when you realize that this thing is telling you to murder Commander Litaal?
And he hasn't said anything yet.
No, you see
We
he's
need
got
to get to
headphones on.
deflector control.
And like, Latal sees the hands clenching and like reaching back for the phaser and get and like, do I still have some control or is it
I
overpowering?
gave
Like,
you you got those three successes, so I'm gonna let that
okay.
continue through this scene.
Go get away from me.
Yeah.
Right. God.
Uh, it's a longer way round, but if I kick in this panel here, I there is a waste chute to the next lower deck. I don't know what's going on. Dick.
And we'll see Litaal slide down the garbage chute into the lower deck. Um, Pergral, you will catch up to where Divelle is.
Mhm.
Uh, 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 Divelle, let's say you come out of the Jeffries tubes,
Mm.
and Pergral, Divelle does not look good. Does not look well.
Hair is super disheveled.
So I think I'm going to give you something to help you along. Since I started the replication process. It's going to take a little bit of time. This is just something to fix
Do
your.
you, well, we did establish that you can have, we talked earlier, that you could have a few doses for the worst
Oh,
off. Do you want to spend a
yeah.
momentum to have one of those?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So
Then
I'll give you the cure.
yeah, I want a reason plus medicine roll because this is
Okay.
not an easy thing to administer.
Okay. Reason plus medicine. And that is reason plus medicine is 15. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You also got
Yeah.
determination. No, you're good.
So that's two
Two
successes.
successes. So it does require, it is essentially a kind of injection that has to be sprayed in the ears.
Ah,
And essentially, Devel, as you're kind of shaking there, Pergral will come over and administer that. And when the second injection comes in, you're still not feeling well, but that pressure that you had, that sense of need to destroy the other, that will abate. Let's take a break, and we're going to come back with Pergral and Divelle and what they want to do with engineering. Then we'll come to the captain, and then we'll come to Litaal at the deflector dish. Sound good? Okay. So take five, and we'll be back. So Dr. Pergral, uh, engineering has been kind of sealed off by force fields. It's clear that the people engineering are infected and something has set their infection off in a different way than others have been. You suspect something like what Dr. Divelle was undergoing. Um, so what is your solution for this problem?
so what I'd like to do is I'd like to take the fire suppressant foam that is in engineering and infuse it with the cure and then set it off. So trying to get at everybody at once.
I like it. Uh, I think that is going to be control plus medicine.
We
So
did
let me
have a
talk about a few things that I have here. I have
Sure.
field medicine, which is ignore increase in difficulty whenever you don't have the proper tools.
Okay.
And then I have emergency medicine as a focus.
Yeah, I think that you'll
Okay.
definitely have a focus for this, and like you're improvising, so I'm not going to give you any penalty for improvising
Okay.
because of that.
Sorry,
And then
Lloyd, to
I'm going
stop the
to,
flow, but
yeah.
we did have a talk in the break. I don't know, Julian, whether you want to outline Divelle's Chekhov's disguise.
Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the fire suppressant, but I think the fire alarm, the foam can only be released from inside.
Because we want me to pretend to be infected and go inside Invasion of the Body Snatcher style.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
I mean, I'm into it.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to spend my determination. So
Okay.
that gets two
Two
successes.
successes.
I'm gonna use
I'm
your
going to
life
spend them
lessons.
life lessons. Oh, that's right. Flashback. Um, I think that in a previous life, I had in a previous, my symbiote had used in a previous lifetime, um, had been in engineering and knows the dispersal and how that works because they'd been through an accident um, where the fire suppressant had to go into place, like it was a warp core breach or something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get
So that's the flashback that gets extra determination, I think. I'm going to spend a
uh
determination.
we spend the
So
determination, so we got two successes, and
yeah.
that gives you then three momentum, I believe, goes into the
Okay.
pool because of that life lessons, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it doesn't cost anything
Yeah.
extra. It's just when you use determination,
Yep. So we'll take
this all
determination
goes.
pool back up to four then. You got two successes, so let's have you make that reason plus or control plus medicine roll.
So control plus medicine is that's 15. So that's three successes.
Three successes.
Oh.
So we've got five successes. Uh, so you can absolutely get that foam suppressant ready. We'll have uh, that. You can take the momentum pool back up to the maximum of six, and you
Hmm.
are absolutely set and ready. Dr. Divelle, why do
Yep.
you have to go in to activate this? Is it just that's the nature of it, or has something happened in engineering that's going to require this?
I think it's because we don't want anyone in engineering interfering with it.
Okay.
It
Uh
needs to be done hands-on.
Absolutely. I think this is going to be presence plus command or presence plus security.
No, presence plus command. It's acting,
Okay.
trying to present myself and look, do the dead-eyed walk and stare as I do like the slow. From my cultural studies of ancient Earth history and
Okay.
movies by, famous beloved movies such as Night of the Living Dead or whatever. Alien misconstruing history is that's funny because humans also misconstrue their own history in
Right.
Star Trek. But I have no focuses for this though, so I'm gonna spend three momentum for two extra dice.
Okay. So momentum pool goes to three.
Yep. Uh, so yep. Looking at all my stuff. Yep, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
One, two, three, four.
One, two, three,
Three
four.
successes.
So
Oh, four successes
four
because there's a
successes.
one. Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think it
yeah.
is that you will go in and they are weirdly working in kind of a herd thing. And you will realize that while you've had the cure, you still have kind of some of the infection,
Mm-hmm.
and that is partially what they're responding to. And I think like you will realize that these two viruses, they are sentient beings, two separate sentient beings that like kind of are communicable, but not necessarily sustainable without something else. And kind of you'll realize that's part of what is going on here. But the other thing I think you'll realize is uh, this is this is something that was not realized when this plague of Arias was cured. Like this is the first time this whole idea that this is a sentient being has come up. Does that seem like a reasonable answer? And then whoosh, you
Yeah,
drop the foam there,
yeah,
uh,
moving along with the herd until
and you will graze that down.
returning. The
Pergral, what is the like the like how does it look when you finish I mean, do you go in after the foam has gone and what do we see happen there?
So I think what we see is once Divelle says it's been deployed, I think I wait for a few counts and there's a little bit of tension build, and then I open the doors, I deactivate the quarantine and open the doors, and we see the engineering doors open, and there's like a wall of foam. It's sort of like a foam party kind of thing. And as you walk in, the foam is slowly dissolving from the top down, so we're starting to see people's heads kind of peek out of the top, but it's sort of like you're walking through this physical material, leaving a trail.
And Divelle, you will see Pergral come through the foam there and kind of checking on people, and it looks like people are cured. Captain, then I'm going to come to Litaal. What are you doing?
So we identified where one of these diseases came from, right? If am I in communication with the Kintsugi and all of the
I think
development?
that seems fair at this point that you can communicate. The only person who can't communicate with is Litaal.
Is Litaal? Yes. Wow. Uh, well, we know the source, probably the source of the Hephaestus plague is the one that's here, right?
Yeah. In fact, since you've made that roll, you got those three successes. I think that uh, Hayabusa will say, yeah, whatever this device is, it looks like some uh, machine that has some like bits of old tech, maybe from a satellite, that are kind of managed in this thing. It does seem like it's giving off some kind of signal.
Can you block that signal, Hayabusa?
Uh, I can turn it off.
Well, I'm out of any other ideas.
He says, "Do you want me to turn it off?"
I, at this point, I suppose so, I guess. I don't really know enough to know one way or the other. I don't have the Star Trek intuition to tell me whether that's what plot demands. Because the thing wanted me to destroy it, right? So I probably don't want it off. But can you track any other signals? Similar signals?
Let's have you make a command plus uh plus presence roll here. This is
Okay.
you kind of directing him to do the work.
And presence 13. I'll spend a point of momentum.
Okay.
Not going to give you any more threats, though.
Really?
No, no more. That is a critical success. Well, no, I don't have a focus that I suppose applies to
So
that.
three successes. He'll
Successes.
say, uh, uh, it, I'm reading this, and there does seem to be another thing emitting. It's a different signal, but there's something up on, uh, uh, like up in Dr. Chiasa's, Captain Chiasa's quarters.
Well then, you with me, Chief?
Okay,
Yeah. Let's head up to Chiasta's quarters.
okay. And we'll see you, heading through the facility, moving through, heading down to there, down the private bay. You'll use your override codes, open up, move into what looks like and she has private quarters and then like a storage area. And you will see in the middle of this room, there is what looks like a section of an old Arcturan satellite. And you can see that it is hooked up to a bunch of computer equipment. And when you look at it, you realize that she has been using the Kintsugi to analyze this.
It's a good dramatic moment for
Exactly.
out of the
Commander
shadow.
Litaal,
Yeah.
slide down, filthy. You're in that sort of, the deflector dish is kind of at that front area. You're getting to the actual mechanism of it. What do we see you do?
Um, One of the best things about Star Trek is jargon. So I've used the jargon table to
Okay.
decide that I'm going to try to invert the primary deflector so we can use it for a controlled resonant displacement. That should flush, because I know the frequency I need to work on, because we've got a trait called isolated frequency.
Okay.
I've got all the doctor's notes. So in effect, this will emit a pulse back through the ship from the deflector. Um, and the intention is that it should wash that virus out. And if we're lucky, provide a shield to stop it getting back aboard.
I will make you an offer that I'll let you do that. Fictional positioning. It will be a temporary solution to temporarily disrupt the signal so that that both of them essentially will kind of be caught up in that. You'll have to apply some kind of treatment to these people, but it will get you in the position where you can operate on this. But you've still got to roll. Oh, you don't
Um,
have any determination left, do you?
I don't. So I'm thinking this is reason to work it out and
Yep.
engineering to do it.
Reason and engineering. Uh, you may use your communications focus.
Okay. Um,
Do you want to spend the momentum?
yes, I'll spend that now.
Okay.
There's one.
I will spend my last threat to raise the difficulty.
So difficulty is how many?
Well, it would have been 5. Goes down to 4 because of isolated frequency. Uh, and
Is
it will
there
go back
anything
up
else I can do with this?
to
Oh, what about computer expertise? Whenever you attempt a task that involves the programming or study of computer system, the first bonus D20 you purchase is
okay.
free.
Absolutely. It'll cost the last point in the momentum pool then to buy that second die.
Yep.
Okay. So 4 dice. You've got to focus. You're also going to get the ship's die.
Okay.
Which why don't you roll that one first, just while we've got
Oh,
that.
sorry. I already have the 4 set up. Oh, will
Okay.
you look at that? 2, 3, 9, 7. That is 4
4.
successes, and the 3 and 2 are lower than
Yeah.
my
So
engineering.
5 successes. So even before we go to anything else, you have the 5 successes. And uh, I think that uh, there will be that pulse. We'll see that energy go out. There's a flare of that. Uh, and, Captain Vate, you're there at this device, and there will be this feeling as suddenly this pulse washes over, and Hayabusa will go, there's some kind of blocking thing. Now I can try and isolate this and lock this down so it can't signal out anymore.
Seems like a good idea to me, Chief. You get on that while I find out where your captain is.
Absolutely. And I think we'll see that get locked down. I think we'll see the other one get locked down. And uh, I I want to cut to we're going to have everybody do an end scene, but I think there is a scene here, Captain, with you and her. And this is kind of done privately. And she says, I knew that there was something more to the Arias Plague, but I didn't know it was alive. But I knew there was more to it. It had a more complex code than could be deciphered in my grandmother's time. I I just wanted to figure it out, to protect her legacy.
Her legacy was near the loss of two crews tomorrow. Do you think that your grandmother would have done this in secret? They would have lied about the EMH?
I, I and you could tell.
Report to Starfleet. I'm sorry that it's going to be this one.
I understand.
But your chief does good work. But I think the chief was there as well,
Yeah, yeah. You see him like the little thing of sweat off of him, kind of. Maybe he's actually gotten off that. Um,
you know what? I'll leave it to you. Like, Chief, I just want you to remember what we learned today and what it means to be a Starfleet engineer. I'm confident you'll take that forwards and like raise one eyebrow.
uh, Litaal, you want a transition scene before we go to end of episode scenes?
I would.
Who wants to be the one to try and get a hold of
I'll do that.
Litaal? Okay.
I'll do that because that makes sense. I'm in
Yeah.
engineering and I'm looking around and I'm looking for Litaal. I'm treating people as I can, those
You've
that are worse
counted the
off.
life signs.
Yeah.
And there's no like Litaal's life sign isn't showing up here.
But I
And
think
then
I
there's a
follow his comm badge, and his comm badge is behind, like, it's fallen into a crack between a couple of consoles. And as I follow it, I'm like expecting to see a body as I come around the corner. Oh, and I pick up the badge and look around.
Perfect. Perfect. Uh let's go to end of episode scenes. Well, we're probably still at the Hephaestus. Things are getting cleared up. You'll find out that the Arcturan was also here. They had found a bit. They thought that the virus had some kind of code in it, but they thought it was for like a treasure map or something. They just didn't. So they assumed the complexity was some kind of communication, not an actual being. They brought it here to try and find the notes from from the grandmother to help them decipher this. But you've got these two beings isolated. They are living sound. They are dangerous, but you haven't destroyed them, Captain. You've managed to avoid having to kill off these two unique beings. Uh, Divelle, what would you like for your end of session scene?
I
Who do
think
you want to call that with?
I want it with Dr. Pergral
Okay.
at her quarters of the doot, doot, the little doorbell ringing thing.
And I think I'm at my desk typing up some notes and come and opens.
Yeah, and she step in and she's carrying, in classic Divelle fashion, a plant to give to you. It's large,
Oh,
blue with like little flat buds. Greetings. I just wanted to welcome you on board the ship. Now that the crisis has passed, and I do this for all the senior officers. And I heard that you liked music, and it's a Telosian singing plant, so maybe you'll enjoy it when you're playing the violin. Was it? I heard.
yes, that's right. You've been studying up on someone's records. What you might not see in the records is that I'm not good with plants, so I'll probably need your help keeping it alive.
Now
So,
there's
does it
that.
require any special care?
Oh, I mean, yeah, and she starts giving off these things and like,
And I'm like, yes, I think we'll be seeing a lot of each other.
Very
Uh,
nice. Litaal?
I'd like a formal meeting with Dr. Divelle, please, um, in the office space that I've been allocated. Um, Come in, sit down, Lieutenant Commander.
all right. Commander
I,
Litaal, your tusks are looking shorter than usual.
yeah, I wouldn't bank on that, Lieutenant Commander. Um, so I've observed with some care your performance over recent missions, and do you really think you have what it takes to be a ship science officer, let alone the lead science officer?
Excuse me?
Well, I've been looking at your record, and your specialisms are entirely inappropriate to a starship officer.
Um,
Archaeology, botany,
yes,
I've seen them not used at all.
well, maybe you're unfamiliar with the Federation's goal of exploration and understanding, but how often are we sent on away missions where we need to learn the layout of the land or the culture, or we're examining the history of cultures long past?
Well, on the
Just because
basis of
I'm not an
inspection,
astrophysicist doesn't mean I'm not qualified for my position.
but on the basis of this inspection, the answer to your question is very rarely, if at all.
That's only because we're in the middle of a war that is distracting us from our true purpose.
Which
I'm
I
sorry I don't
suppose.
have the history of listening to others.
Um, my question, you see, Lieutenant Commander, is that I believe you're entirely unsuited as a senior science officer aboard a starship. I think you should transfer to command. I was,
Hmm.
I will admit, having referenced the logs, you had a very difficult decision. Did you take the risk to the ship of shots fired above the risk to potentially crew you encountered of you already being infected with something you didn't really understand and could have passed to them? Um, you judged that it was more important to protect the ship and that the risk of infecting other crew members was a risk worth taking. I think that's a very legitimate judgment.
Yeah. Divelle's definitely speechless and like, thank you for your insight and opinion, Litaal. I
I
was
just wanted
not
to give you
ex
a heads up what my report will say.
no, yes. Captain Vate has thought of this as well in the past. So,
Well, I noticed that in the absence of his first officer, um, and some would say his neglect of the command seat over recent days, um, you seem to fit into the role very comfortably.
I don't deny that. I have aspirations to eventually captain a ship of my own.
Well, my advice is not to hang around, as the humans have it.
Well, we'll see what the future holds for us, shall we?
In Ward's absence, I think you should be having a conversation with the captain.
Well, Ward will should be back shortly, I believe. And how long will you be staying with us, Commander?
Some little time yet.
Okay. Well, I look forward to arguing with you in the future.
Uh, I'm always open to arguments that have weight.
Of course.
Dismissed.
Excellent. Uh, Pergral.
Litaal was never infected, correct?
Contaminated but not infected.
Oh, okay, okay. So I think I'm going to. What we see here is um, Pagral is sending some messages back to. Uh, Basically, it's her log associated with it. She has a medical. She has a medical log that's being sent back to the Science Institute on Trill, indicating, this is there are living sound beings out there. This is what I found. It's kind of a research paper kind of thing. And then I think the write-up is my new my new officers that I'm serving with are very interesting. Dr. Divelle really distinguished herself in the way that she was able to adapt and create, um, help to create isolation areas during our outbreak. And I find it suspicious. It's interesting that for a Tellarite, that the Commander Litaal wasn't infected like everyone else was. They have more acute senses, so I would have expected to him to have heard more of this oral infection.
Nice. Nice.
Mhm.
And Captain Vate.
What happened to Chaconis
Chaconas is in the brig.
in the brig?
Tvilic is down there. You haven't quite gotten a fully straight answer from him. What he will say is, uh, uh, Commander Chaconas attacked me in an effort to bring harm to the Cardassians.
As I'm hearing this report, does perhaps Ensign Jurez uh, open the door and surrender himself for his
Yeah, I imagine Tvilic's like, Ensign Juris was present at the scene.
yeah. Jurez, what brings you down here?
I was looking for you, Captain, and they told me you'd come down to the brig.
Yes, it's a pity to see how far Starfleet's best can fall.
Absolutely, sir. I have a resignation letter.
And it's probably old-fashioned printed, right? How old-fashioned? Uh, but you're on paper. You must have.
Yes.
Well, good to know the replicators can do such a good job. Tvilic, is this true?
I was stunned by uh, the commander, so I can't attest to anything with any certainty, sir.
Understood.
Clear, sir. I came here to interrogate the Cardassians. I threatened the lieutenant, um, uh, but then it all went wrong.
It all got out of hand too fast. That's what you're saying, Juris. You didn't mean for any of this to happen.
No, I mean the lieutenant had just about convinced me that I was being stupid, and then the Andorian officer stunned him.
I won't be accepting your resignation, Juris. We were in a crisis situation, and I hope this is one that you're going to learn from in the future. This isn't going to be the first time we're going to have Cardassian prisoners of war, I'm sure, before the end of this. And I need to know I can trust my crew. And I hope that my crew trust their officers.
Sir, yes, sir.
Now, Reg said I should confine you to the brig for at least a week and put this in your report. You're Commander Litaal's personal assistant for the remainder of his time here.
Thank you, sir.
I like that. I actually think that's a good line for us to end on. And that is our episode. Thank you much. Jolene, you're out for the next episode.
Next two.
Next two. Well, next two episodes or
Wow. The next two sessions.
so the next episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen, thank you for joining us for this. Really appreciate that. I really like Pergral. And I'm
Yeah.
glad to have a medical person. I hope we'll have you come back.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
wish. Both
Yeah.
of you come back.
Yeah.
I want to see them both again.
Yeah. We can make Pergral an NPC,
Yeah,
right?
so essentially what we do is we'll keep them on the main character thing, and then we'll also put them in the secondary character
Perfect.
things that we can pull up for medical people. So I do dig that. Uh, let's do stars and wishes if y'all don't mind. Divelle.
Oh, yeah. Wishes. I definitely want to interact with Pergral and Litaal more in the future. Stars. Uh, Steven, you're like jump right in. You're Star Trekking up as like, all right, what if we do this? And then you can, playing off the whole pretending thing. And Litaal is like, yeah, you're not suited to be a science officer. I'm like, what are you talking about? How dare you? You should be in command. I'm like, how dare you be kind? Lol, I love how like you're so you're not like antagonistic, but you are, but just like in a playful way with us. Whereas like many GMs would be like, "Ah, what a jerk," but no, you're just like, "Oh no, you have no determination left." Boo-hoo. So like, I never feel like it's us versus you because you're always like working for the story, and it's great to see Commander Vate back. Can't wait to actually have more scenes with you in the future.
Awesome. And I am planning on the next time that you're back for a full episode, we're going to have your brother's wedding as a key point for that. So that is, I'm just going to put a pin in that. So, um, Alan.
Yeah, I've just scribbled down. It's not Lowell, it's his threat. Yeah, excellent spending of threat at just the right time, um, uh, and a beautifully constructed pair of sessions. I thought, lots of kind of trying to work out what's going on last time, and then today, all hands to deck, all hands on deck. Um, I loved the. I needed to have that one-to-one with Divelle because I will have left the Kintsugi the next time Divelle is on screen. Um, I'm sorry I haven't had a session. I haven't had a one-to-one really with the Doctor, um, and I don't think that's going to be possible now. I'm saving up my one-to-one with Commander Vate for the end of the next pair of sessions, which will be when I will be submitting my report. And so, no, that was fantastic. I loved Vate, struggling to get his head around the idea that this is an ancient consciousness in a machine, and the way that you offered both Hayabusa and Captain Tamar, the captain, um, that kind of opportunity to get back on side, and lovely to have that scene at the end with Juras, which was the one that I put in my belated wish in the chat previously. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Yeah, I will say this, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I was so glad to see you use the psychometry, Will. Like that gave you a real opportunity to pull the curtain back on that. Uh, as I was thinking about, okay, there are a couple of ways to do that, but that was really good. Stephen.
First of all, I have a star for you, Lowell, which is I like how you set these sessions up as two session episodes. Without that, whenever I signed up for this game, I was so deep on the wait list, I thought I'll never get in. I think early on, I popped off of one session, and then it just so happened the second session I popped off the wait list, and I said it doesn't make sense for me to join a long game. And you explained no, two sessions is one episode, and I'm like, well, that's fantastic. That will fit in great. Being patient and explaining the rules, that was all. It flowed very well for me. Um, I really enjoyed the scenes with so whenever you had Litaal kind of give the dress down to Jolene, it was fun to watch. But then the twist at the end where you were actually complimenting her, I was like, "Oh, that's really good. That's really really good." Um, and I also like the scene with Will, where you determined what the punishment would be for the ensign. I'm going to turn around and make him, be the attaché to Litaal, right? I'm like, that's beautiful. And I think I got most of my scenes with Dr. Divelle with Jolene, and that was just wonderful. It was so great to, rush around and say, no, you can't do that. Oh, okay, I'll go with you, and then you have to sneak in order to set things off. That was great.
Awesome. Yeah, and again, I do appreciate you coming in and jumping in and really giving us a strong play for this episode. So it was really great. And Captain Vate.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Dr. Pergral having their feature episode mostly with Dr. Divelle is perfect because that would be very much how it would be on the TV show, right? Like it's always like Geordie has a new friend, and Geordie has most of his scenes with that person rather than like, it being necessarily the whole crew. Like they usually pair up the guest actor kind of thing with a couple of other actors, so they have most of their scenes together. So that was perfect. I mean, I always enjoy when we think of this as the TV show of the USS Kintsugi. Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed the red herring of and complication of the Cardassians and Starfleet intelligence, right? Because that's who you immediately go to, as it must be the source of these murky goings on in the war. But that was just color at the end of the day, and it was something else entirely. And it was a good one to have the psychic powers. And I do try not to overuse them, to be
No, I
like,
think you've got that balance really right.
yeah. It occurred to me afterwards I could have like grabbed the Arcturian and like, eventually like mind read him, to sort of like get some flash of like what's going on here. But yeah, it was much cooler to go because I think it should play it more like try the conventional way and then go for the spooky way, like
Hmm.
that feels more like he's not Deanna Troy, who's continuously like, Captain, I sense that Klingons are really angry with us. But yeah, it was great. I thought we made use. I really enjoyed what Alan did with Jurez early on in this and switch over to a quick character just to bring that quick character into the plot. Um, it was an interesting way of using the quick characters, I think, because I think that by and large we tend to do it as like, well, it doesn't make sense, away teams, the leads on the away team or whatever, right? We do switch back and forth, but it's an interesting one or like the bridge combat stuff is like an
Hmm.
away. It's really fun for it to be like, I want a B plot with this side character to be part of the story. So let's bring them in as a B, even if your other one is still going. I'd like to remember to do that a bit more because I could have been like, I'd rather be Tavalic for now and investigate the Cardassians, and I don't have to do it all as a captain. But I did increasingly think that, well, if this was a TV episode, then Picard is always up in everybody's business, like
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah,
No, I
but
do like
great.
that clever use of it, and it did make that Cardassian thing like it made that whole brought it back for the second half, and it did a nice job of pinning some things. So,
Yeah, it was good. So
uh,
wishes. I would like, Litaal's report. I suppose I would like some explanation and some exploration of the themes that Alan's touched on there with the, you've got psychic powers, Vade. Why aren't you being studied in a Federation lab somewhere? Um, yeah, I think the example of these living sound weapons might be a good one to have to refer to, as in, should we turn those loose on the Dominion? Just simply we could just fire them off into space in a torpedo at Cardassia, and the war is over tomorrow. Uh,
awesome. Yeah, thank you all so much. I enjoyed this episode. Dug it very much, and I'm looking forward to figuring out what the next episode is. Go to the writer's room. I have to sit down and with my notes and figure that out. I am going to stop the recording